What's up, guys? My name is Ty Zen, and this is my fourth child. His name is Tezos, right? Welcome to the cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a real-world trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. In this channel, we like to share with people the things that we've done to grow and manage a 7, 8, and 9-figure portfolio. Okay. So, in this video, guys, I want to talk about the adapting to the market. I want to talk about how I adapted and what and the mistakes that I made, and things like that, so that you guys can learn from it. Okay. So many of you guys that have been following me for a while now, you guys know that I have not had any Bitcoin. Okay, and just to make sure that you guys understand which one I'm talking about. The one that's referred to as Bitcoin Core. Okay, most of you guys know that I put most of my money, after I made money from Bitcoin Core in 2017, I put most of that, used most of the profits to buy Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV when it came out. All right, and then a bunch of other altcoins. Okay, now why did I do that? The reason why I did that was because I did not believe that Bitcoin Core was successful at being a peer-to-peer electronic cash like it was intended. Okay, so you got a lot of the Bitcoin Core maximalists. They wanted it to become a store of value, like a digital gold, where everybody stores their wealth there. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if they want, I personally prefer it to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash. However, if that's what the community wants, to make Bitcoin Core a store of value, I have no problems with that. I'm here to make life-changing profits from cryptocurrency trading and investing. I'm not here to be political about how the coins want to behave. Now, the reason why I supported Bitcoin Core being a peer-to-peer electronic cash was because that's what was on the white paper, the original white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin. And it was also the reason why our team got into crypto in the first place, because we saw this as a revolutionary peer-to-peer electronic cash. However, I don't know where the Bitcoin Core guys came from, but they came out of nowhere and wanted to rewrite the narrative and the history of Bitcoin Core, and they wanted to become a store of value. And since it's an open source project and there's no CEO, no founder, I mean, there is a founder, but there's no CEO or no entity that has complete control of the Bitcoin Core network. If the majority of the community wants it to become a store of value, then eventually, if there's enough people using it as a store of value, then it becomes a store of value. Okay, because it's an open source project, so it can, wherever the majority of the community puts their money and effort into, that's what that project is going to become. Okay, so I did not buy any Bitcoin Core after 2017, or hold any, or buy any during the bear markets, simply because I did not see it as a successful peer-to-peer electronic cash. Well, during that whole time, the Bitcoin Core maximalists wanted to become a store of value. And so at that time, the reason why I argued against it being a store of value is because I didn't see anyone using it as a store of value. Now, my business partner and our chief investment officer, LeonFood.com, the honorable, legendary, great grandmaster LeonFood.com, he said, well, you got guys like Tim Draper, you got guys like Mike Novogratz, and you got lots of people putting up hundreds of millions and even billions, in not billions, but hundreds of millions into let me get some cash out to pay the toll here. So, give them the big bills so we have enough, so we get some change. So what happened was, you got these big investors and these hedge fund managers buying crypto to invest into it. However, Leon Fu.com, my business partner, was arguing that they were putting it in there as a store of value, and I don't look at it that way. I look at it as Tim Draper and all these, the big whales putting their money into crypto because of they put their money into crypto because they're looking for a profit, like we are. So they're just a bigger version of us. Okay, so I never looked at it as those guys, the whales, the hedge fund managers, and those guys putting money into crypto as a store of value. Okay, so fast forward to the middle or the third quarter of 2020, and we had this guy Michael Saylor, the CEO of a American software company called MicroStrategy, and he comes out and he says he put $175 million of his personal money into Bitcoin. Now keep in mind, this guy's a billionaire already. Okay, he's been a multi-millionaire since he was in his early 20s, mid 20s. So this guy's big money. Okay, so what happened was, when he said he put $175 million of his personal money into Bitcoin, to me it's just another trader, another investor just like us, investing into crypto to increase the value of their money. Okay, now what changed the game was when he announced that he's putting not only 175 million of his personal money into Bitcoin, but he's also putting $465 million, and later on he borrowed money and bought another $650 million to get Bitcoin. So when he made his announcement of $465 million that he took, his company money, the company reserves, cash reserves that they have on hand to pay for the monthly operating costs and stuff for multiple years, and he took that money, and he says that after the COVID-19 crash, the markets around the world in March of 2020, he decided he was going to take the cash in his company and put it into Bitcoin to fight against inflation, because now all the governments are printing a shitload of money. Okay, and he wants to put it into Bitcoin as a store of value. Now, this is the first time, or I would say that when MicroStrategy put $465 million into Bitcoin, to me, that was the first official use of store of value with a meaningful amount of money. Yes, you can say that Tim Draper, bought 30,000, Bitcoins from the U.S. government. You can say that that Facebook executive, the former Facebook executive, Chamath, I don't know how to say his last name, Palihapitiya, that guy from India or Sri Lanka or somewhere around there. You can say that he put money into it. You can say that there's other guys that put money into crypto as well, but they all put it in there for the same reason that we did, our team did, which is to invest and make a profit. None of these guys said that, oh, I'm putting $10 million or $100 million into Bitcoin as a store of value. No one said that. Okay, and you got a lot of broke ass Bitcoin core maximalists that said they're using it as a store of value and stuff. But when an individual says that they're putting in $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, or even $1 million into Bitcoin as a store of value, I don't take that very seriously, because that's not a meaningful amount of money, and that's not coming from someone that would create a chain reaction in the community. However, when someone like a billionaire like Michael Saylor comes along and he puts $465 million of his company money into Bitcoin, now that is a meaningful amount of money, and he clearly explains to everyone the reason why he's doing it. He's putting it there to store his company wealth. Okay, so now keep in mind, this is not a new concept. Like in our company, every time we sell the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, which is, in my opinion, the absolute best training program on the planet to help people that want to grow their portfolio into a 7, 8, 9-figure portfolio and manage it correctly, I think that's the absolute best training program on the planet. Whenever we have people who buy our course with fiat using a credit card, and then we have people who buy our course using cryptocurrencies. You know, we're one of the first companies in the world to accept, you know, cryptocurrencies as a payment and keep it as a cryptocurrency. Like there's a lot of people that, for example, like, you know, Peter Schiff from Puerto Rico, and he would say that he accepts, you know, he sells his gold for crypto, but then, you know, supposedly he converts it immediately to US dollars. So to me, that's not really a cryptocurrency company. That's just someone that accepts it. They really don't believe in it. That's why they won't hold it. As on our team, we only, every cryptocurrency that we accept as payment for our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, we keep it in crypto. We don't convert it to fiat. The only time we convert it to fiat is when we need to make a payment, you know, for company expenses and things like that. Okay, so that's, to me, that's being a real cryptocurrency company. Okay, so back to the thing. When we keep our company money in cryptocurrencies, you know, it's not a lot. You know, it's a lot for an individual, but for a company wise, it's, you know, compared to other businesses and stuff, it's minuscule, it's tiny. Okay, so that's not a meaningful amount. When Michael Saylor puts in $465 million into Bitcoin, that is I would consider that a meaningful amount. And because it's coming from a billionaire, and it's coming from a billion-dollar company, right? That gives it more credibility, and that's enough to create a chain reaction with other large companies to do the same thing. You know, when he goes, when Michael Saylor goes and hangs out with his buddies, you know, that are also multi-millionaires and billionaires and other billion-dollar company CEOs and executives, he's gonna let them know. You know, he's gonna tell them what he did with his company money, how he bought the $465 million worth of Bitcoin, and then how he raised and, you know, borrowed another $650 million to buy more Bitcoins, right? And how, you know, he's made, like, probably by the time you guys watch this video, he's probably made over $1 billion in profit already from that. So people are going to listen. The other big boys, the other big companies are going to listen to what he says and try to replicate that success in their company as well. I mean, these guys are not stupid. They didn't become billionaires by being a dummy. Okay, so they see another guy doing something successfully, they're gonna try to imitate it. Okay, so when I saw this happen, and then I started seeing, you know, PayPal announce that their company Square is going just put another 50 million in. So now it's time to shift gears. It's time to change and adapt to the market. I said that I did not own any Bitcoin Core because they did not they did not so there goes a Lambo right there, right in Bangkok. So it's a sign, man. It's a sign. When I'm making this video about Bitcoin and there's a Lambo right behind us, right there, it's a sign, bro. We're going to the moon. Moon Lambo, bitches. Okay? Anyways, so I started to adapt because I didn't have any Bitcoin cores in my portfolio, but when I see that, now I see somebody using a meaningful amount of money to store their wealth in Bitcoin Core. Now I see the evidence. I see the evidence that, okay, I've been arguing that, hey man, who the hell is using this shit for a store of wealth? If I want to store my wealth, I'll just go buy some land, some real estate, you know, buy a business or something like that, or buy some bonds. But who the hell is using Bitcoin Core as a store of value? Well, when Michael Saylor announced that he's putting $465 million and another $650 million into Bitcoin Core, well, that's the signal, that's the evidence that I needed. That was the proof that I needed that, okay, they have won, Bitcoin Core has won the use case. There's a lot of use cases for cryptocurrencies, okay? And apparently Bitcoin Core has won the use case. It has become the Facebook or the Google or the king of of the use case for storing value in a digital form. Okay, so because of that, that's when I looked. I also at the same time, right? At the same time, Bitcoin Cash was going through a fork of Bitcoin ABC. I mean BCH ABC and BCHN. So they're forking into different coin. And then I asked myself, okay, I bought Bitcoin Cash because I believed that it was going to become the king of peer-to-peer electronic cash. However, when I moved to Asia, right, no one is using it. No one is using it as a peer-to-peer electronic cash. No one is using it in the West. No one's using it in the East. And when I came back to Asia to live and retire, I was shocked because I realized, this whole time I saw all this USDT, Tether, stablecoin trading, and I thought the volume was bullshit. I thought the volume was fake. But then when I came back to Vietnam to live and retire, I realized that that's what the majority of Asia uses. They don't use, they don't have access to the US dollar or the euro or to the Western currencies. So the only currency they use over here in Asia outside the West is USDT. That's why we see a large volume of that. So because of that, I started to realize, and our team started to realize that the real electronic peer-to-peer electronic cash is actually the stable coins. Okay, because it's not what we say in theory, it's not what we believe, it's not what our opinion that matters, it's what's the reality. The reality was I saw more people using Tether as a peer-to-peer electronic cash than they were using Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Core or any other cryptocurrency. Okay, so because of that, I asked myself, okay, I invested into Bitcoin Cash so they will succeed, because I believe they would succeed as a peer-to-peer electronic cash. However, it's been 2017. Let's not count 2017, okay, because they came out in August and September. There's a lot of drama in the beginning. So let's just be conservative and just count 2019 and all of 2020. So you got 2 years to prove to the market that the market wants Bitcoin Cash as a peer-to-peer electronic cash. Okay, and the reality is, okay, it's not working out. It's not working out. The market has told us, okay, we as individual traders, we as early investors and early traders in Bitcoin Core want it to become a peer-to-peer electronic cash. But the market, okay, the market knows more than any of us individuals. Okay, the market is telling us that no, we want Bitcoin Core to be a store of value. Okay, not a peer-to-peer electronic cash. Okay, and then so then we'll put the money into Bitcoin Cash. But then the market is also telling us, listen up, we don't want Bitcoin Cash to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash either. We want the stable coins to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash. Okay, and I'm like, okay, so the market is telling me this, right? I'm living in reality. Remember, if some of you guys ask, hey, Ty, how did you come to America as a poor, stupid, Vietnamese refugee, come to America, you never finish high school, you go to prison for drugs, for nearly 14 years, you come out in your mid-40s and you're able to become a multi-millionaire, within 10, 11 years and retire in your mid-40s, right? The reason why I was able to do that, guys, was because all my smart academic friends, all my book smart friends, they live in theory. They live in a fantasy land. Whereas I learned after coming out of prison, I learned that, hey man, in order for me to succeed, I have to live in a world of reality. I have to live in reality, not in theory. Okay, not in fantasy. Okay, look at that, babe. Lake Legend. Did you see that house? Lake Legend. Okay. So that's the reason why I adapted and switched up and started accumulating Bitcoins, right, before this big run up. So I bought all my Bitcoins below, I think like between 10 and I think like between 10 and 13,000, 14,000 or something like that. Okay, so, and I'm projecting for Bitcoin to go past $200,000 easily in this bull market. Okay, so because of that, right, I adapted. Okay, because I want you, the lesson from this video that I want you guys to learn is this. Yes, we have these theories, we have this thesis, we have the reasons why we buy a certain coin. And I'm not making this video so that you guys go out there and buy a Bitcoin Core or anything like that, right? The lesson that you guys want to learn here is not to go out there and buy a Bitcoin Core. The lesson is that, are you adapting? Are you changing as the market conditions change? Okay? Or are you just dead set? Like, for example, like the Bitcoin Core maximalists, they were all screaming at the top of their lungs that, you know, Bitcoin Core is the king, nothing else, the altcoins are shit coins and all this other stuff. And they missed the complete move of the altcoin moves in 2017. Completely missed it. You know, I have several Bitcoin Core maximalist friends, and they're still working. They're still cranking out videos on YouTube. They're still doing all this work, right? And they cannot retire yet because they missed the 2017 move. You know, they were talking about HODL, so they HODLed their Bitcoins. They never sold, you know, so that when it tanked, you know, it completely changed their outlook. Okay, so my suggestion to you guys, okay, what I'm saying to you guys is this. What I'm saying is that, hey, whenever you guys get into a coin, you have to ask yourself, what has to change? How long? And what are the signals that you need to see to say that, hey, I'm wrong on this and I need to adapt and change? Okay, what do I need to see? What do I need to hear? What needs to happen in order for me to change my mind about this? Well, I said that I believe that Bitcoin Cash was going to become the ultimate peer-to-peer electronic cash, right? But 2 years later, right, the market is telling me that no, we don't want Bitcoin Cash to be the peer-to-peer electronic cash. We want the stable coins to become the peer-to-peer electronic cash. And so I have to listen. Right? And when that happens, we adapt. And that's how we learn. That's how we make life-changing profits. If we don't adapt, okay, then we're going to be stuck where we're at. I remember during the 14 years that I was in prison for drugs in America, right? I remember seeing the same guys go out. When I came into prison, it was at 18 years old, and I remember seeing other teenagers come in there, and they had a shorter sentence than me, and they would go home, and then they would go out there, sell drugs again, then come back into prison again, and then they would get out, and they would sell drugs again, and I would see them again. So over that 14-year period, I would see the same prisoners 2 or 3 times, okay? Because they never learned, they never adapted, right? When I came out of prison, after, 14 years of being in federal prison in America, right? I remember my parole officer was prepared to put me back in prison. And I told her, mentally, I said, man, this bitch got me fucked up. She thinks I'm gonna go back to prison. She has no idea nothing is gonna put me back in prison, because I ain't gonna make the same mistake again, right? And there were so many people that violated their parole after they came out and they went back to prison, and it would usually happen within the first 90 days. And the first 90 days that I got out of prison, I kept telling myself, man, that I'm gonna adapt, I'm gonna change, I gotta do whatever it takes to stay out of prison. I cannot repeat the same mistakes. I cannot think the same way that I did as a teenager that got me put in prison. I cannot talk to the same type of people. I cannot take the same type of actions. And that's what kept me out of prison. And I knew that once I get past that 90-day mark, okay, because you guys may not know this about prison statistics, okay, but the majority of the prisoners that come out within 90 days, they go back to prison. It's called, in English, it's called the recidivism rate. And I think that they have over a 90% recidivism rate, the rate at which prisoners go back to prison after they get out within the first 90 days. And I knew that if I can just beat the first 90 days, if I can just beat it, I will have beat the system, okay? And if you stay out after 6 months, it's the chance of you going back to prison are like less than 1%. And if you stay out after 12 months without getting in trouble, without getting arrested by the police or anything, then it's almost a 0% chance that you'll go back to prison. And so I knew that 90 days was so critical. I had to change everything about me to stay out, okay? And that's why I'm here today. And I'm sharing this with you guys, right? Because sometimes we get emotionally attached to a coin. We don't want to let it go. For example, as I'm making this video, someone already, the Ripple, okay? Their CEO already announced that they're being, sued by the SEC, which is the equivalent of the police in America. For the people outside of America that don't know what the SEC is, that's the Securities Exchange Commission in America. So they're like the civil side, not the criminal side. So but they have the ability to shut down the company and make them, pay fines and all kinds of stupid nonsense that can put the Ripple project out of business. Okay, so because of that, right, I sold all my Ripple. As soon as I heard that news, the first thing I did was sell all my Ripple, because it's like, hey man, I gotta adapt. I thought that the Ripple army would take this.
I don't have my ID.
Okay. Where is it?
It's in that pink little purse.
Okay.
I'm gonna put in my backpack already.
Okay, well, tell them to go back. Okay, so because of that, right? Because of that, we have to adapt, guys. All right, so don't get emotionally attached. I had some students, some friends, and some colleagues who they heard that about Ripple, about the lawsuit from the SEC with Ripple, and they don't want to sell it. They don't want to change, and then the market tanked. Okay, so all I'm saying is the lesson in this video, guys, is that when you have a chance to adapt and the market conditions change, right, then I recommend that you guys I recommend that you guys adapt. Okay, you guys adapt. So just be aware of that, guys, and I hope that this video helps you guys understand this, okay, and understand the reasons why I went from being a diehard Bitcoin Cash supporter, but then immediately overnight be able to switch over to the Bitcoin Core immediately. So you have to be flexible like that. Okay, now here's something else too, guys, right? If they did not fork Bitcoin Cash, that would have not been enough signals for me to switch from Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin back to Bitcoin Core. Okay, it's a good thing that the announcement from Michael Saylor buying 465 million in Bitcoin and the announcement about the Bitcoin Cash fork happened around the same time. So I had multiple signals to confirm that it was time to let go of this. Okay, so when you adapt, when you change and adapt, also keep in mind that make sure that you have multiple reliable signals to tell you that, to give you the information that you need to take the action that you need to take. Okay, so it's not just one signal, but it was multiple signals that combined together to force me to make that decision to adapt to the changing market conditions. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, guys. If you guys like this video and you guys want to learn more about how our team grows and manages a 7, 8, 9 figure portfolio, I highly recommend that you guys go and get a copy of our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. You can get it at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, and in that blueprint we share with you guys everything that we know and everything that we have ever done, right? It's not for everyone, guys. If you're one of those lazy bums that don't want to do shit and think that you're just going to buy a course and then all of a sudden get rich and become a multi-millionaire and have a 9-figure portfolio, okay, please don't do that, because I don't want to have to deal with you. Okay, I'm talking about the people that are looking to do this, for the rest of their life. They're serious about it. They, miss some of the opportunities in 2017, and they don't want to repeat those same mistakes, and they still don't have a solution on how to do it correctly, right? Then this is for you. Okay, those are the people that we want to help. the ones that are just, you know, bullshitting around, you know, and think that this is just luck, or this is just, you know, superstitious bullshit, you know, or that this is, you know, it's not going to last very long, then you really should not be getting our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. That's for the people that know that this is going to be around. It's not going to go away, and that, you know, they want to take advantage of this upcoming bull market and any future bull markets and bear markets, right? That's for them. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at HeyTaiZen, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. And we want to leave you guys with our last words. Me and my son Tezos right here, right? Don't forget, guys, Tezos is a sleeper, okay? We're holding it. We ain't selling shit, you know? We'll sell some of the staking rewards just to pay for the, you know, knick-knack bills here and there, you know, the small bills here and there, but we are not selling any of the Tezos, okay? I got a shitload of it, you know, for my son and all my kids, and that's, you know, I'm gonna leave it to them as their inheritance. I'm not gonna, right, Tezos, right? We're gonna tell everyone, come on, big guy, tell everyone, Tezos till we Bezos, all right? All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in a future video. Thank you.